Yeah, hello all. Sorry for being late. So, there was an issue with my Zoom. So let's wait for a couple of more minutes. We'll start the session. Just a sec, let me enable the chat. Yeah, please do let me know in the chat that you guys can hear me. Yeah, thanks, Tariq. Yeah, hi, Upendra. Yeah, good evening. So let's wait till 8:07 and we'll start the session. So I hope for the people who are going to install in their personal computer, so please do download the VMware and ISO. Yeah, hi, Renuka and Vijay. So, yeah. Well, it is already, yeah, recording is already. Yeah, Upendra. So let me, 1 second, let me unmute you.
Uh, Karthik,
Yeah.
yesterday the link which I have joined through Zoom in the
Uh-huh.
chat, I didn't get that links when I today checked in the chat. Could you please email the students or give any
The
links?
drive link, is it?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, I just sent now in the chat. So please do click that and bookmark this area.
Sure. Okay. Okay. Thank you, Karthik.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah, yeah. So please do download this one. Uh, please do download the ISO as well as the VMware Workstation Pro. So if you want, you can install using a VirtualBox as well. But yeah, it's your call. But mostly, I prefer VMware Workstation. It is very straightforward and easy to use actually. Because VirtualBox in some laptops, I used to saw like driver issues there. So in that is the reason I prefer VMware Workstation Pro. So even this is included in the key. So better to use this one, right? So yeah. And if once you download it, it is very straightforward. So yesterday someone asked me to reinstall the workstation. Um, so it is very straightforward. So please do let me know if you still want me to uninstall and reinstall because that would take some time. So it is just like, let me just show you. That is the reason I took a snapshot and created a PDF because, yeah. So you just download that and open it. So, so, so this will be the setup wizard. So yeah. So once it is installed, it will ask for the license key. So you just enter the license key. That is also here in this PDF. So once that is done, so yeah, you will be treated with this screen. So this is your home screen for your VMware workstation. So once you are in the screens, and then you're good. So if you don't see the screen or okay, so I am unable to install. So which one you're unable to install, Tariq, like VMware workstation? And for the people who are using enterprise laptop, right? So you might or you can't install because it might be having some admin rights you need, right? So please don't try it in your enterprise so like laptops and all, like your company laptops. So only try in your personal computers how to install. Okay. So the first thing is you need to download the VMware workstation, okay. So let me just show you that. So this is the file. Okay, so it is around 600 MB, and the link for this is already in the chat. So let me paste it once again. Yeah. So just go to that link and go to the ISO on VMware, and please do download this one and the next file. So these two other important files. So yeah, once you're downloaded, please do install this VMware Workstation Pro, and please don't flash your ISO into a pen drive or something, because we are going to install using the VMware, right? So first thing, you need to install the VMware Workstation Pro, and once you are done with that, you will be seeing this screen. Okay, so this is your home screen, by the way. So click on create a new virtual machine. Okay, so if you're still there is some issue while installing the VMware Workstation Pro, so please do drop an email to me. We will be seeing that. Okay, because since I already have a VM, so it might take some time for me to uninstall and show you how to reinstall it. Okay, so that is the reason. So yeah, this is my email. So please drop an email. I will be sending this along with today's notes. Okay, so yeah. Yeah, Srikanth. So okay. Actually, even zip also would be the same size as Srikanth, because it is a whole file. It is a single entity, right? So in your case, you need to try to download using this torrent file. Okay, so yesterday I shown you how to do that. So just you just Google uTorrent. Okay, so just go to the uh, any torrent client you can use. So this is the easiest one, I would say. So just click on this free download, and I even included this in the yesterday's notes. Okay, so yeah, sorry, not this one. Yeah, so this is the link. Okay, so once you downloaded this, so you just click on this one. It will open in that torrent client. Yeah, because it is a huge file, right? So it is expected, because some cases it might there might be a packet loss and it might be stuck. So yeah, so this is the one. So just click on OK. So it will try to find the peers, and yeah, it might take some time, at least 1 or 2 minutes for the initial time. And yeah, this torrent is having seeds. So we are good here. So let me stop it now. But this is how you will, so once it is 100%, you would be treated with the same ISO file. Okay, so this one. Okay, so that is how you do. So once you're having both the VMware Workstation and ISO, and please do install the VMware Workstation Pro. And once you're with all these files, and you like once you install, you'll be seeing this screen. So create a new virtual machine. Okay. And before this one, you need to confirm this virtualization is enabled in your system. So for the people who are like planning to install or work in your AWS, so you need not worry about any of these. Okay, so because you will be using their system, means their data center servers. So you need not worry about virtualization and all. So it will be obviously enabled. So in this case, I just open my task manager. Okay, so just go to your performance and CPU. So in your CPU, this virtualization should be enabled. Okay, so if it is disabled, and by default, every vendor would be disabling it. Okay, so you need to enable it. So how would you enable it? Okay, so in my case, I'm using HP laptop here. So just Google HP. So in my case, the laptop model is Victus BIOS. Okay, so in BIOS virtualization. So every official vendor has their how to enable the virtualization. Okay, so their own guide is there. So you just Google with your vendor, like HP, I just search for, right? So you can search for Dell. So Dell virtualization BIOS, like that. So the official one will be in your, the first link it will be. Okay, so anyhow, it would be the same, but better to search with your vendor's link. Okay, so Yeah, VT technology in laptop. Yeah, perfect. So that is the one. So just search with your vendor. So it will take at least 2 minutes. And once you're done, please go through that guide. And yeah, because I can't show that in the recording, right? So please go through this bio screen and yeah, change your virtualization uh, and enable it. Okay, so once you enabled only, so why we need this virtualization first thing. Okay, so why? Because you are going to virtually use the CPU and memory in your VMware, right? So you need, like, that is a physical thing, right? So CPU and memory, it is a physical in your hard drive, sorry, in your laptop, right? So you're going to virtually use that. So virtualization should be enabled. Then only it will be allowed as per the manufacturer. Okay, so that is the thing. And so once that is done, only you need to initiate the installation of the ISO. So if not, also it will be fine. So once you try to boot the ISO, it will be throwing the error, like virtualization is not enabled or VTX is not enabled, like that. So everything would be the same. This one. So this one, if you check, it might be disabled because you might have not used any virtualization softwares. If you didn't, so it would be disabled for sure. Okay, so that is the. Okay. So the first thing, click on the create a new virtual machine. Click on the custom. So don't go with the typical one. Next. And this one is your hardware compatibility. So don't change any of the settings here. So what this means is, this is a list of all the workstation hardware compatibility versions actually. So if you see the oldest one in that, so you can see there would be a limitation, and you can see what are all the compatible products along with that. So you can use only these products. And this is workstation 5.x or 5.0 is around 2005 or 6, like that. So that year. Okay, so it is very old. So that is the reason the limitation is just 3.5 gigs of memory. And so in this case, the limitation would be high. So don't change these settings. Okay, so just click on next. And you can either go with I will install the operating system later or this ISO. So better to choose the ISO now itself. Okay, so let me go to my software OS. So I have 8.0, 8.2, 9 also I have. So either of the options I can select. In your case, you have only one ISO, right? 8.4. 8.8 series would be the same actually. So don't worry about, okay, I have a latest variant, or so 8 and 9 both are almost same. So only the UI will be different. Anyhow, we will be connecting via QT, right? So remote connection. So don't worry about the UI and all. So okay, so in my case, I'm selecting the Rail 8.2. Okay, so in your case, it will be 8.4. So don't worry about versions. So the next one would be the full name. So this one, just give any name. So in my case, I'm just giving user1, and username is also user1 I'm giving. And this is an important one. Okay, so the password you're going to mention here, this would be used for your root account as well. So root account is nothing but your admin account. Okay, so like in your Windows, you're having admin, right? So here it is called as root. So that is it would be the same password for that account as well. So yeah, just create a normal password. So you need not create a complex one, because anyhow you'll be the one using this lab, right? So yeah, and you need not worry about the password every time, because we will be saving that in the session. So yeah, this is the one-time setup. So I just gave password as 1234. So next, and this is an important thing. So where you want to store your VM. Okay, so if you are having more than one partition, so in many cases you might have only one. So if you have another partition other than C, so in my case I have a D colon, right? So I will be selecting D and I will be installing there. So why? Because let's say if you want to install, initiate some other, like what is that? Some other tools, or it might pile up. Okay, so VM would like it might take some at least 20 to 30 gigs, just like that. So in that case, better to install in the other partition. Okay, so new VM is already there. So this is all my existing VMs. So let me give a new name, lab. Okay, so, yeah, and you can give this as rel and number of cores. So how many CPU core you want me like you want to initiate or allocate to the virtually. Okay, so virtually how much or how many you want to do. So one is more than enough. Okay, so for a rel 8, one is more than enough. So just give next. And in my case, it is automatically selected 2 gigs since I have 8 gigs RAM. So in your case, if you are having 4 gigs, it will be selecting as 1 gig as a memory. Okay, so just give next. So network connection, you can either select bridged networking and or NAT. Okay, so I personally use NAT a lot. So this is easy and straightforward. You can connect multiple VMs also if you want. So I chose NAT. And this one and all, the IO controller, you need not like always go with the recommended one. And this is a important one. Okay, so you can either install a SATA drive or SCSI or NVMe. So IDE is kind of obsolete now, so no one uses that. So yeah, you having these 3 options, but by default it is selecting as NVMe and it is recommended, right? So go with that. In later session, once we are using or once we start the disk management, right? So we will install a SCSI or SATA drive. Okay, so yeah. And next one, obviously, we're going to create a new virtual disk. In your case, you might not have an existing one. So all, yeah, select this one. And 20 gigs, it is selected by default. So better to use that. Okay, that is more than enough. And you have 2 options here. Okay, so let me just, okay, yeah, this it is not there. So there is a there is a thing called as thin provisioning and thick provisioning. So I will show you how this works later in while I explain the VMware vSphere installation. Okay, so that is a separate thing. Later sessions we will see. So if I explain in that way, it will be easy for you to understand. Okay, so yeah, so this is a thin provisioning which we are going to do. Okay, so split virtual disk into multiple files. So right away it won't populate 20 gigs in your hard disk. Okay, so if you select this one, it will be right away creating this 20 gigs. So better to do in an incremental way. But yeah, so this second option. And where do you want to store your disk? Okay, so in my case, I will usually keep my VMs in a single uh, single place. So a single directory. So disks. And here I'll just give a number called 1. So 1.vmdk. So vmdk is nothing but VM disk. Okay, so that is a full form, and we can customize the hardware and we can remove the printer. So anyhow, printer we won't use, right? So even sound card we don't need, but fine, anything let it be there. So this is the summary which we given. Okay, so which location, how much size, and how much memory, everything. So if you want to change, you can go back and change everything. Click on finish. So now right away it will power on that VM. So yeah, it might take at least 2 minutes to initiate in some cases. Again, it depends on your hard disk speed. So if you are using, in my case, I'm using NVMe hard disk. So sorry, NVMe SSD. So mine might be a bit faster. So please be patient in this section and all. Okay, so don't rush it. So it might take some time in some cases. So, okay, so once it is starting the installation, we can go to the next method of installation because let it run in the background. Okay, so it might take some time. Yeah, this is a like basic installation one, and actually it won't allow you to click. Okay, yeah. Why? Because we done a easy installation. So if I do this one, so let me clearly show you that. Yeah, you can see easy install information. So there is a easy installation option is there for this ISO or any rel ISO. If you do, what is easy installation then? So easy installation is that previous screen which you saw, right? Actually, whatever options you selected, you need to again you need to type it here. So that is the easy installation. So you need not do that. So it will be done itself. Okay, so you can see it might take some time to install. So is there any doubts till now? Anyone? So once it is installed, that's it. Your your uh, your laptop setup is done, or your virtual machine would be done. So later we will be anyhow configuring the host name and those things, but this is the basic lab setup for your laptop. Okay, so and if you don't want your laptop to be used, or you are having an enterprise laptop, you can't install a VM. So in those cases, always try to use a CSP or cloud service provider. Okay, so there are three major players in the cloud service provider. Okay, Azure and GCP, and even OCI is there, Oracle Cloud, even Alibaba Cloud is there. Many are there, but these three are the one who is giving you free tier. Okay, so Azure, actually Azure, he does give, but actually it is not. It is just 30 days. Okay, so it is not sufficient for you to practice. So and one of the person asked how to install in an Azure, right? I will try to show you, or I will create a document how to do that, but it will be the same setup whatever we are doing now. I'll be showing you how to do in your AWS as well. Okay, so that is the thing. So it would be the same. So anyhow, I'll create a document just like I created for GCP in my like in the drive, right? So anyhow, no problem. So I'll try to create that for Azure, and please do follow that. Okay, but I personally won't recommend because it is just 30 days, right? So it won't be a sufficient time for you to practice. And once that is done, it will the cost will be incurred in your credit card or debit card, which you're going to do. Okay, so let's see how to install in AWS. Okay, so just go to this link, aws.amazon.com. And if you scroll down, so this is the free trial. Okay, so you see Amazon EC2. Okay, so Elastic Cloud, Elastic Compute Cloud. So that is your EC2. So this is what you need to go. Instance. Okay, so this is the AWS one. And yeah, so that is your AWS one. So this is the official home page. So once you click on sign in, you just create the basic details and give everything. And so one major advantage of AWS is you need not have a credit card also. So you can give your debit card also. They do accept that. Okay, so debit card or credit card. Okay, so either of one, it is accepted. Even RuPay card is accepted, I guess. Okay, so please do check. And if it is not accepting, but you must give at least one card, right? So you can borrow from your parents or in some cases. Okay, so if you're a student and you don't own a card, please this is a mandatory thing. Okay, so since it is a you need to pay for every hour or so, right? But anyhow, we won't pay, but at least you need to give that payment details. Okay, so just ₹2 it will be deducting for verification, and in dollars it would be $1, I guess they would deduct. for verification, and they would it would be credited back just for verification. It would be detected, and yeah, once you are done, you will be seeing this screen. Okay, so this is your, not this one. Yeah, this screen, because like once you give the details, it to verify that, and it might take some 2 hours, I guess. So you will receive a confirmation mail. So once that is done, then only you can go to this console. Okay, so again, go to the same link, sign into the console, and give your email ID and password. Okay, so yeah, so once you're done, this is your dashboard or your home page of your AWS console. So there is a lot of services is there. So please don't confuse and go to all the service. So just we will be using EC2 instance. Okay, so just you can go via EC2 there, or this is a global search, by the way. You can search for EC2. So it will be populated here. Many ways you can go to the same EC2 dashboard. So this is your EC2 dashboard, by the way. And so this is the new one. So many in my previous session unchecked this by default, and if you do that again, it would be the same, but some of the features it won't be enabled. Okay, so please don't do this one, and don't try to change the region. Okay, so you can change anyhow, but anyhow there won't be much latency. Anyhow, we are using a VM, right? So, and we are not doing any production service or something. So just for our lab purpose, so better keep it as a default North Virginia one. Okay, so click on launch instance. So, and launch the instance. Okay, so here we are going to install the same rel only. So rel 9 we are going to install here. So rel 9, and it would be the same SSD. So all would be the same, just that instead of your laptop, it would be installed in some data center in North Virginia. Okay, so even we don't have the control to see, okay, which exact data center. So only you will be having a vague idea. Okay, it would be in this availability zone. Okay, so that is the thing. And name you can give anything. So rel LAN, and yeah. So you have multiple options here. So even macOS also you can install, and yeah, so you have Red Hat here, right? So just select that, and rel 9. So you have even rel 8, but rel 9 itself is a free tier eligible. So just give that and give on. So don't change these basic details and all, like 64 bits, 64-bit architecture only we will be using. And yeah, change this free tier 1. So this is the different tiers. So what is this tiers is like, or different instance type, you can say. So you can click on this, and there will be a lot of combinations of your CPU and memory. So based on your usage, this would be okay. So if you want it to be a powerful one, you will be selecting a powerful one. Like if you are going to run a startup or something, you will be selecting a huge one, like this case, like this one. So 16 cores and 32 gigs RAM, like that. Obviously, the cost also would be incurring a lot. So in that case, we won't do that, and we don't need that. Okay, so always go with the free tier 1. That is more than enough. Okay, so that is okay. So so yeah, T2 micro it is selected, and that is the free tier eligible. Okay, so only this one. So the size is like 1 CPU and 1 gig of memory. Okay, and the next one would be your key pair login. So now is the concept called as passwordless authentication. Okay, so anyhow, we will have a dedicated session for this later. But what is passwordless is nothing but, as the name suggests, you won't type a password, or there is no need of a password authentication. Okay, so how then it would be authenticating? So there is a concept called as private key and public key. So there will be a key-based authentication, it is called as, and so again, you won't have the control of the key which you are going to select. Okay, so obviously you will be downloading the key and all, but the key will be already placed in your VM once you create a new key. Okay, so that is the thing in your AWS. But anyhow, we will do this setup in a local machine as well. Okay, so I will show you how that is done. So yeah, so key name, anything you can give. Let me do test one. It is already a test. Okay, so you can either download. So there are multiple key pair types. So if I explain now, obviously you won't understand this and all. So RSA is there, DSA is there, ECDSA is there. Okay, so many are there. So this is the famous and most used one, RSA. Okay, so better to use that. And you have again two formats. So .pem is used for your SSH or your command prompt, right? So you can use .pem using that to authenticate, or .ppk. So you'll be using putty and or kitty or any versions of the remote connection. So we'll be using that, this .ppk. Okay, so and create a key pair. So we are going to create a new key pair, by the way. And this network settings, you need not change any of this. Okay, so please don't change any of this. And because by default, this is the actual firewall settings and all, like security groups, it is called as in your AWS. So please don't change. So by default, it will be selected anywhere or anything. Okay, so yeah, don't change this one. And yeah, storage, you have up to 30 gigs. You can use this SSD storage. Okay, so we can, so for root it will be 10, so that is enough. Okay, so in our personal or local setup it is 20 gigs we use, right? But here it is 10. That is enough actually, no problem, because there is no GUI here. And once you're done, you must see this info. Okay, so very important. Let me paste it in the notes as well. So if you don't see this, then yeah, it might be already used account, or you just need to create a new account. That's it. And again, you can use the same credit card or debit card. You can link that with your new account. Okay, so that is the thing. So, but make sure you see this treat here. Okay, so very important is this one. So if you don't see this, obviously they are how many hours you are running, it would be detecting from your credit card or either way of like payment. So click on launch instance. So yeah, so AWS will be a bit faster compared to GCP, but yeah, so GCP, one advantage is they are giving around $300, right? So that is a good thing. So is there any doubts in AWS actually? So now is the time where we will be downloading the Kitty. So just search for Kitty and Putty. So you will be seeing this link. So what is this actually? So this is a remote desktop client or a remote connection client, you can say. Okay, so just click on download. Yeah, click on this one. So this is also there in our resource section. Okay, so ISO and VMware is there, right? So just go here. You can see Kitty over here. Okay, so there are many options over for this putty or kitty. So super putty is there, kitty is there, the official putty is there. Many are there. Okay, so but yeah, I personally prefer kitty. So because you can save the password here, and yeah, that is the major advantage I would say. So anyhow, yeah, let me download this. So I already have this. Okay, so just start download, and it is a executable one, which is like that's it. You need not even install it. Okay, so That is the thing. And please do create a pin out of it, or you just right click here and pin to the taskbar. Okay, so that is that is very important, because again you need to search for that location, and then only you can execute that. So always try to pin the kitty. So now the instance is running, so it is started. Okay, so this is our IP. Okay, so IP is there, but we can click on connect here. Okay, so there are different ways of connecting to your machine. So either you want to connect via uh, a command prompt. So here also you can connect, but we didn't downloaded the PIM file, right? So if it is a PIM file, then you can use this example and you can paste it in your command prompt. So we didn't done that, right? So we are using a kitty or putty. Either way, it would be the same. So kitty is a fork of putty. Means it is a kind of a same copy of that, and even bit more features packed to it. Okay, so just launch this one and copy your IP, so or your DNS. Either way, it would be the same. So paste it over here, and it would be the 22 for SSH. So SSH is nothing but secure shell. Okay, so you have SSH and RDP. Remote. Yeah, Yogesh. So it is safe to connect. I personally use the Kitty for past 3.5 years. So it is safe to connect. So it is just like your remote connection. You don't have any other choice actually. So this is a famous tools like Kitty or Putty. Many tools are there, but this is the famous one. Okay, so yeah, Ashish, I unmuted you.
So I just want the basic question. So I saw this you have used this, I think, host name for the AWS, right? Net 2040.
Okay, your voice is
Hello?
breaking a lot, Ashish actually. So yeah, can you yeah. Can you repeat your
So
question, or can you type your
what will
question?
yeah, yeah, I saw you just use the host name through the AWS.
Sorry, Ashish, actually. So your voice is breaking a lot. Can you type that in your chat? What is your question? So don't see it here. So please do type the same thing in the chat, Ashish. I will try to. I guess Ashish is stopped. Is it? Yeah, he's. Oh, okay. What would be the IP? Okay, okay, got it. So your IP would be your. Okay, this one. So this is your public IP. So either you can connect with this one, because private IP is internal one, so you can't use that. So this public IP you can use if you don't want that DNS to be used. So these both are same actually. So you can connect either public DNS or public IPv4 address, this one. Okay, so that is the one. And port. So the mode of communication, or using SSH only, we will be communicating the Linux server especially. So the port for that is 22. For RDP, so this is for your, just go to your run and type mstsc. Okay, so you will see this remote desktop connection. So this is for a Windows server. So even Windows server you can initiate it like with your AWS. So once you're done, you in AWS, one good thing is they will be downloading a profile for that. So just like that, you double click that, it will be opening this remote desktop. But this is a for only for Windows servers. Okay, so and the port used to connect this one is 3389. Okay, so this is the basic thing. So this is for Linux. This RDP is for Windows. Okay, so yeah, that is the thing. And so please don't right away click on open. Okay, so always save your session. Sorry, guys. So please do save it, and that is the important thing. So let me just give the exam code here. So EX200 lab, and yeah, we need to change or not all, but some of the important things we will be changing it here. Okay, so again, I didn't click on save. So just come to this categories and you can. So I will just remove this field because every time it will be annoying for you guys as well. So if we make a typo or something. And yeah, window. So please do change this lines of scroll back. So this is nothing but like, let's say if you are opening the session for quite some time, it will be populating a lot of lines since that is the only way of like your kitty session you will be using for at least 2 to 3 hours, right? So it will be piling up and like you can't scroll back. Okay, so like this is the number of lines you can scroll back, and please make it as a huge number and make it as 2. Okay, so you can make it as 2 billion or more than that. It doesn't matter, but at least this number. Okay, so and appearance wise, you can change the font and those things. Okay, so yeah, these things we won't change. So color also you can change it to anything. So yeah, I won't change it in my case. So connection. So connection is like if you wanted to keep like it will be sending a null packet every 30 seconds so that your session will be staying on forever. Okay, so that one, and keep this enable TCP keep alive. Check this box. Okay, and come to data. So this one, so we'll be selecting for our local machine how this option will be changing. Okay, so data as of now we won't give, and this is the good thing about Kitty over Putty. Okay, so in Putty you don't have these options. Obviously you have username, but password option won't be there. And you can bootstrap some command. So let's say there is one command you want to run. You can like type the command here, and every time you are opening a new session, that command will be executed. Like let's say you want to run the date command, right? So every time it executing or you're opening the shell, it will be running this command, date command. Okay. So yeah, and click on this expandable option and click on this auth. So this we are going to authenticate this private key, right? So click on browse and let me browse my key. Just see. Yeah, so I just selected my key. So this is the one which we so AWS, like once we created it, we downloaded this. So this is a private key, by the way. Sorry, public key. The private key will be in the machine, like in somewhere. Okay, so that is it. Again, come back to session, and now you click on save. So whatever changes you made, it will be saved. So now you can double click that. And if you see the security alert, that is a good thing. So please don't click on cancel, guys. Okay. So always accept this one. Why? Because this is a foreign connection for this system. Okay, so it is asking, okay, do we still trust this connection also? So if anyhow we are the one initiated, right? So just click on accept and type the username. So EC2-user, enter, and it will try to authenticate with the key which we provided. So I did, sorry, it did authenticated that. and we are logged into our machine. So just like that, within 5 minutes, we initiated it and we logged in. So you need not worry about virtualization or anything. But few questions like you can't perform in your AWS. Okay, so questions or few concepts, it will be already configured. Okay, so your yum repository or some concepts you can't work on this one because that do require the console access or VM access. Okay, so even our VM machine is installed. So once we done with GCP, we'll come back to our VM. Okay, so yeah, so once you are logged in, so always do this command. So sudo su-root. So what is this command is used to switch to the root user. Okay, so why? Obviously, you can use the same user, but anyhow, we mostly will be trying to use the root user, and it won't have a, or it won't ask for the password. Okay, so we will see how that works in later session because now itself means it would take a lot of time and you will be confused for sure. So while we see the user management, we'll be seeing how the sudo works and why we are using switch user and what is this hyphen, everything will be seen. Okay. So this is the first command you need to execute. And once you're switched, that's it. So you can type some date command or you can do this cat command. So don't worry about what and all these commands I'm typing. So just to verify the version, I'm typing this command. Okay, so cat is used to view a file. So we will see what and all these commands later anyhow. Okay, so just run these commands. First thing is your sudo, just to verify guys. Okay. Yeah. Just a sec, let me see in the chat. Is there any doubts, anyone? Okay. What is DZ do? Okay. So DZ do is for Active Directory, Yogesh. So if you are trying to use the Active Directory accounts, so you can use DZ do. Okay. So mostly, yeah. So instead of sudo, it is same as sudo. Okay. So that is the thing. So if you want to directly use the sudo privilege for Active Directory user, DZ do is the command. Or you can even use sudo. So it would be the same, but yeah. So this is the first one, date and cat slash etc date and release. Okay, so these three are the commands which you just run. So better to copy paste as of now. Okay, so I'll be explaining each commands. So don't worry about what is cat and what is this path. So everything will be explained later. So once you're done, so that's it. Your AWS setup is done. And always once you're done with your lab or your practice session, please do change the instance state to stop. So don't terminate it. Okay. So again, I repeat. So please don't terminate your session or sorry, terminate your instance because again, you need to create it. Okay. So please don't do that. Always do stop. So there won't be any cost incurred for stop or for having the instance. Okay. So only cost will be incurred if you're running that instance for quite a while. Okay. So that is the thing. So let me stop this one as of now. And yeah, so it will be right away stop. So AWS is much more responsive than your GCP. Okay, so always that is the case because AWS is an early player in the cloud service provider, right? So yeah, so now let's use the cloud.google.com. So this is for GCP. And you see, get $300 in free credit use for and free usage of 20 plus products, including the VM instance. Okay, so here it is called as VM instance. In AWS, it is called as EC2. Okay, so GCP. The link is this. So in my case, I just let me cross the share and let me log in with my. So you can, the best thing is you can use your Gmail ID. Okay, so obviously everyone would have at least one Gmail ID. So you can use that and log in to this console. Okay, so this is the home screen or the console screen for your GCP. So again in GCP, like credit cards only is allowed. So that is the thing. So please, yeah, use any one of the credit card of your family or your friends one. Okay, so if you don't own one, so please do use anyone's credit card. But yeah, so GCP, one good thing is you don't have a free tier limit. So you have that credits. Okay, so actually it will be populating here. So my account, it's been more than 90 days. Okay, so it's been around 6 months, I guess. So that is the reason my free tier is like elapsed. Okay, so I don't see that message. So you would see a message here that a free tier is enabled in this account. Okay, so once you have or once you see that message, only proceed further. Or if you don't see that, just log in it to any one of your other Gmail IDs or create a new one. Okay, so again, you have a global search here. So just go to compute engine. Okay, so here if you do a navigation menu, so here, yeah, it should be compute engine and VM instance. Okay, so and in this GCP, actually, first time if you are launching, it will asking you for to enable API. Okay, so in GCP, everything works as an API. Okay, so every options or every tools here works as an API. So always you need to enable that. So search for VM instance or compute engine. So either way, it would be the same. Search. So here, this is the good thing. Um, yeah. So can you guys hear me now? Not sure there is a network disconnecting like this. Okay, yeah. Okay. So yeah. So you need not again change this one. So you let it be E2. So so this is a good thing, right? So you have 2 vCPU and 4 gigs of memory for free for 90 days. So that is the thing. And again, don't change anything here. So come directly to the boot disk. Okay, so and click on change here. So and okay, I guess I need to refresh this page. Just a second. So it is not populating. Just a sec. Yeah. So by default, it will be selected as Debian operating system. Again, that is a variant of Linux. So you have Red Hat here. So Red Hat Enterprise Linux. Select this one. And the version here, it would be RHEL 7 also it is there. So we will select RHEL 8 or 9. Okay, so yeah, we will select RHEL 8. And don't forget to select this radio button, pay as you go. Okay, so once you're done, and yeah, it would be 20 gigs here. So select and don't change any of these remaining things. And one major advantage over this GCP is you need not even have a remote like remote connection software like a putty or kitty. Okay, so that is the thing. And yeah, so you will be seeing a pop-up here that free tier is enabled on this one. So in my case, it is not. And you can see the monthly estimate. This is not for per day. So don't confuse that and shock that, okay, it is $70 per day. This is for the whole month if you're running 24 bar 7. Okay, so that is the amount. It will be charged or incurred in your card. So just click on create. So this might take at least 1 or 2 minutes. So that's it. Even GCP, it is just take 2 to 3 minutes. But in order to verify your payment details and all, it might take 4 to 5 hours, or it might take even 1 day in some cases. Okay, so yeah, and trust me, yeah. So GCP is a bit slow than AWS, I would say that, but again, they're offering a good thing compared to any cloud service provider. So that is good thing. And yeah, here you have this external IP. So using this, you can connect. And yeah, so you can click on this connect or this drop down box, and you can use this one. Use another SSH client. You can use the putty also or kitty, or you can use this SSH. So once you click that, it will open a cloud shell. Okay, so it will be transferring the keys, and this shell acts same as your putty. Okay, so yeah. Hello. Okay, it is asking for login. Just a second. Yeah, so here also you do sudo su-boot once you log in, and press Control L to clear the screen. Okay, so Control and L, and if it is in your what is that, in your Mac OS, it would be Command and L. Okay, so yeah, again do the same commands here. So date and cat/etc red hat release. So you can use tab to autofill this one. So cat etc red tab. So press tab, it will be autofilling that. So okay, so you can even type or you can autofill. So it will be this is the info. So once you select, it will be copied. Yeah. So your GCP also we initiated the VM, and again do the same in your GCP. So don't ever terminate your GCP instance or delete your instance. So click on stop. Okay, so yeah, and let's come back to lastly to our local machine. So this is the not the welcome screen, actually this is your log screen. So this is the, if you see the screen, then yeah, so your installation is successful. So you can go to user one, but I will directly go to the root user. So click on not listed and type root. So root 1234 is the password which I given. And for this one, again, we need to configure a PT. Okay, so let's see what is the IP it is populated. Again, IP also we don't have a control if it is a DHCP. Okay, so Obviously our in my case, my Wi-Fi connection will become as a DHCP, and it will be providing an IP on its own. Okay, so yeah, this is the IP. And okay, I didn't explain how to open the terminal, right? Sorry, guys. So just go to activities and click on this black one. Okay, so this is your terminal, and yeah, expand this and type if config -a. So this is nothing but your network information. Okay, so just local VM. In this is the first command you will be doing. So if config -a. First thing, root user. Root user, and you can do this. Obviously, you can use the user one also. If you like, don't worry about, okay, you did logged in as the user one. So either way, this command will work. Okay, so this is the IP for this machine, and this IP would be changing in your case. Okay, so and this is the interface name ENS 160, just like your Wi-Fi connection in your Windows, right? So like that, this is the network interface. So just copy this one and come to your kitty and paste it. Okay, so again the same thing. So you will be using local VM. Let me paste like type it like that, and do the same thing. So then this one you can do this. Connection is 30 and data. So in this data section, so just give root and auto login password. You can fill the password. So it won't be showing the password to anyone, and even to you it won't show. Okay, so that is the thing. It is anyhow it is a lab session, right? So don't worry about that. And you can even bootstrap any command. So let me just bootstrap date. Okay, so and click, come back to session and save it, and double click this. So again, if you see this, always click on accept. So that's it. So you can see send automatic password. That's it. So yeah, so it did logged in. We ran the date command. The same command will be running here as well. It has 8.2. Okay, so that's it. So today we did initiated local VM and a cloud service provider VM. Okay, so the cloud service provider we done AWS and GCP. Azure, I will just give a documented one. Okay, so yeah, I will just add a document here in tomorrow's session, because in my case, my account is still in verification. Sorry, my payment is still in verification. Okay, so once that is done, I can show you guys. Okay, so let me just stop this instance, or you can even suspend, but that also will incur some cost. Okay, so anyhow, you in this case, if it is incurring also, it will be reducing from that $300. Okay, so you don't worry about the cost it is incurring. So that's it. We try to connect with three ways of like 3 ways. Okay, so that's it. Your lab setup is done. So you can either choose your local VM using your VMware workstation, but you need to do some changes in your you need to enable virtualization, and that's it actually. So you just need to enable it in your uh, laptop BIOS one or BIOS settings. And once you are done that, then only you need to proceed with the installation, because installation will be successful, but it won't launch the VM. Okay, so it will throw errors continuously. So once you are done that, you can do this one. Or yeah, you won't see any errors. So if you face any errors, so please drop an email to me. I will, yeah. So email, I will just select the top. Sorry guys, I extended the session. Okay, so yeah, so tomorrow we will change the host name. Actually, yeah, now also we can do, but better let's do tomorrow. No issues. Okay, so any doubts till now? Anyone? So if not, so we can wind up the session. And tomorrow's session, the agenda for tomorrow's session would be like we will be seeing the booting procedure, and we will try to do the file system as well. So it would be again a theory session, by the way. So yeah, because as a sysadmin, you must understand how the booting procedure works, and it is a repetitive question in your interviews as well. Okay, so yeah. So if there is no doubts, that's it for the day, guys. And for the people who didn't pay as of now, so please go through this same link and you can pay for the session. Okay, so yeah, this is the one. Let me share this in the chat. And share it here as well. Okay. Yeah. So that's it for the day, guys. Then I'll be sharing these notes. Yeah. Thanks for your time. Have a great day. Thanks all. Bye.